For decades, they were the silent ghosts of our ambition, a junkyard orbiting Earth. Thousands of dead satellites, relics of a bygone era, tumbling aimlessly through the void. We launched them, used them, and forgot them. They were space debris, a problem for future generations to solve. But we were wrong, so very wrong. It started subtly, a flicker of light where none should be, an old weather satellite from the 1970s, long since decommissioned, suddenly blinked. An engineer at a forgotten tracking station in the Atacama Desert was the first to notice. He dismissed it as a glitch, a solar flare playing tricks on his aging equipment. But then another one blinked. And another. Within hours, a cascade of impossible signals swept across the globe. From the highest geosynchronous orbits to the lowest, decaying trajectories, the dead were waking up. Satellites that had transmitted a single byte of data in half a century were suddenly humming with power. Their solar panels, coated in decades of micrometeoroid dust, began to pivot, tracking the sun with unnerving precision. At NASA, the atmosphere was electric. Panic and disbelief fought for dominance. "It's impossible," one mission director kept repeating. "Their batteries are completely degraded. Their circuits are fried by radiation." But the data flooding their screens told a different story. Not only were they online, they were communicating with each other. A vast, intricate network was forming, a ghostly internet woven from the threads of our own discarded technology. The initial theory was a coordinated hack. A hostile nation or a rogue group must have found a way to seize control of this orbital ghost fleet. But no known signal could do this. No terrestrial broadcast could simultaneously reanimate thousands of disparate pieces of hardware from different countries and different eras. The power source was another mystery. They were drawing more energy than their old solar cells could possibly provide. It was as if they were tapping into something else, some unseen wellspring of power in the vacuum of space. Then, they began to move. It wasn't the chaotic, uncontrolled descent of orbital decay. This was deliberate, calculated. Tiny thrusters, long thought to be empty, fired in synchronized bursts. They nudged and shifted, their orbits adjusting with a grace they never possessed in life. The world watched, holding its collective breath. Astronomers, both professional and amateur, turned their telescopes to the sky, witnessing a slow, celestial ballet that defied all logic. What was their purpose? What was this phantom intelligence orchestrating this cosmic spectacle? The signals they shared were encrypted beyond our comprehension, a language of pure mathematics that seemed more alien than anything we had ever conceived. We were listening to a conversation we couldn't understand, spoken by machines we ourselves had built. The irony was terrifying. We had littered the heavens with our technological refuse, and now that refuse had a mind of its own. Governments scrambled. Emergency sessions were held at the UN. Were they a threat? Were they building a weapon? The media frenzy was relentless, with headlines screaming of an orbital apocalypse. But the satellites did nothing hostile. They simply continued their methodical, silent dance, drawing closer to one another, their formation tightening. A young astrophysicist named Dr. Eris Thorne had a different theory. He wasn't looking at the satellites themselves, but at the space between them. Using a new form of gravitational wave detector, he noticed faint, rhythmic distortions in spacetime, emanating from the center of the growing satellite cluster. It was like a heartbeat, a slow, steady pulse that was growing stronger with every satellite that joined the formation. Thorne argued they weren't being powered by the sun or by some hidden battery. He believed they were drawing energy from the fabric of spacetime itself, converting gravitational potential into electrical power. The idea was dismissed as fringe science, something out of a pulp novel. But as the days turned into a week, and the satellite constellation grew denser and more organized, his theories started to seem less and less crazy. The cluster was now so large it was visible to the naked eye at dusk and dawn. A new, man-made star in our sky. It hung, today a constant reminder of our own technological hubris, now staring back at us. The fear in the general population was palpable. People looked up at the sky, not with wonder, but with dread. What was it building? What was its final form? The answer came on the 8th day. The final few rogue satellites, the last stragglers from the most eccentric orbits, finally maneuvered into position. The humming of the network reached a crescendo that our instruments could barely handle. The gravitational heartbeat Thorne had detected spiked, sending a ripple through observatories worldwide. And then, silence. Every signal stopped. The vast, chattering network of the awakened dead went completely quiet. For several agonizing hours, the world waited. The silence was more terrifying than the noise. Had they finished their work? Was this the calm before the storm? Then, the formation changed one last time. Slowly, majestically, the thousands of points of light began to shift. This was no longer a random cluster. This was typography on a cosmic scale. Lines and curves were being drawn against the black canvas of space. It was a message for us. As the sun set over the Pacific Ocean, casting long shadows across a fearful planet, the final shape locked into place. From every continent, people looked up and saw it. 2 words, written in the fiery glow of reanimated metal, spanning hundreds of kilometers of the night sky. For a moment, the entire planet was united in a single, silent gasp of awe and terror. The message was simple, direct, and it changed everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. It read, "We arrived. Who are they? Where did they come from? And what does their arrival mean for the future of humanity?" We've only just begun to scratch the surface of this mystery. The story is far from over. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you're as curious as I am to find out what happens next, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have a lot more to explore together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.